Okay, quick question. Have you ever checked your bank balance and thought, wait, I didn't buy anything big. I wasn't out here purchasing jet skis. Why does my money look like it got mugged in an alley? Here's the situation. You're trying to be responsible. You're not bad with money. You're working, you're paying bills, maybe you even cook at home sometimes. And yet, every month, it feels like your bank account is on a treadmill set to sprint, and you're just trying not to fall off. And what usually happens is we blame the obvious stuff. Rent is high. Groceries are insane. My car hates me personally. But what if the real problem isn't the big stuff? What if it's the small stuff? The tiny fees, the little, it's only $1 charges, the convenience costs, the interest creep, the sneaky percentages that quietly add up until you're paying 30% more for your life without even realizing it. Look, this video might annoy you a little because once you see it, you can't unsee it. My name is Morgan, and I spend way too much time thinking about hidden fees and the tiny money leaks that keep people broke. If you're someone who works hard, tries to budget, but still feels like your money disappears anyway, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're exposing the thing nobody talks about. Microfees. The financial mosquito bites that don't hurt much individually, but somehow you wake up and you're missing a pint of blood. And here's the thing. Most people think fees are small. They think 1% is nothing. But that belief right there is one of the most expensive beliefs you can have. Challenge the common belief early. Let's challenge a sacred personal finance phrase. It's only a few bucks. Because only a few bucks is how companies get rich and you stay stressed. The way the modern money system is designed is not to take your money in one dramatic Hollywood heist. It's to take it in tiny, ignorable amounts your brain labels as not worth thinking about. That's why microfees work so well. They're below your emotional radar. And to prove it, I want to start with a story. The invisible 1%. Let's say you have a friend. Let's call her Jenna. Jenna is not reckless. Jenna isn't out here lighting money on fire. She makes an okay income. She's trying to save. She's trying to invest. She's trying to adult. But Jenna says something I hear all the time. Morgan, I just need to earn more money because no matter what I do, I can't get ahead. And I'm like, okay, let's look. So we pull up her last month of spending. Nothing outrageous, no $4,000 shopping spree, no diamond-studded toaster, just dozens of small charges, a few delivery fees, a couple overdrafts from timing issues, subscription renewals she forgot about, a processing fee, a service fee, a convenience fee, ATM fees, a credit card late fee once, and investment fees she didn't even know she was paying. Individually, they looked harmless. Collectively, they were the difference between I'm building wealth and I'm stuck forever. That's this whole video. Because microfees don't feel like theft. They feel like life. The money leak categories. Microfees tend to show up in 3 buckets. Transaction microfees, you pay them constantly. Think delivery fee, small order fee, ATM fee, processing charges. Penalty microfees, you pay them when life gets messy. Late fees, overdraft or NSF, interest spikes, missed deadlines. And percentage microfees, the ones that compound quietly. Investing fees, advisor fees, fund expense ratios, higher APR over time. And we're going to do 2 things today. The math of how small fees explode into huge losses, and the psychology of why smart people keep paying them. Because look, if this was just math, people would stop. The reason they don't stop is psychology. The math. How 1% becomes approximately 30%. Let's do the investing one first, because this is the cleanest example of 1% becoming 30%. There's a well-known illustration used by the US Department of Labor that shows how fee differences change outcomes. They give a scenario like this. You have $25,000 invested, 35 years until retirement, and your investments return around 7% per year. Now, compare two fee situations. If fees reduce returns by 0.5% a year, you end up around $227,000. If fees reduce returns by 1.5% a year, you end up around $163,000. That's a 1% difference in fees, producing about a 28% lower ending balance. Let me say that again because it's the entire point of this video. A 1% difference can cost you almost a third of your retirement money. And the wild part? Most people will spend 3 hours reading reviews to save $30 on headphones, but won't spend 10 minutes checking whether their retirement account is quietly bleeding tens of thousands of dollars. Quick, clear mouth example, no fluff. Imagine you invest $500 a month for 30 years. With strong market returns, you might expect a big number at the end. But if you're paying an extra 1% in fees the whole time, your final number can be dramatically smaller. Because fees don't just take money, they take future growth. It's like cutting down the tree and burning the seeds. Analogy. Fees are not like paying $5 for parking once. Fees are like someone shaving a tiny layer off your snowball every time it rolls downhill. You don't notice at the top of the hill. You notice at the bottom when your snowball is kind of embarrassing. Okay, but I'm not an investor. Micro fees in normal life. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Morgan, cool. Investing fees are bad, but I'm just trying to pay bills and survive. Perfect. Let's talk about the everyday stuff because this is where people get absolutely wrecked without noticing. Example, delivery fees and convenience stocking. Let's say you order food twice a week. You're thinking, whatever, it's just a couple bucks. But look at a typical stock. Delivery fee, $3.99, service fee, $2.49, small order fee, $2, tip, $6. Plus the menu price being higher than in-store, which often is. That can easily turn a $16 meal into a $30 meal. That's not a few bucks, that's almost double. Do that 8 times in a month and suddenly you've paid what, an extra $100 to $200 just for not driving. And look, sometimes convenience is worth paying for. I'm not here to shame you. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't pay micro fees with money. You pay micro fees with your future. Because the money you leak in micro fees is the exact money that would have become your emergency fund, your debt payoff, your investing, your freedom. Overdraft fees. Overdraft fees are the purest form of small mistake, big punishment. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau reported that banks' overdraft and NSF fee revenue in 2023 was about $5.83 billion. Billions. From what is usually a timing issue, not even a spending issue, a timing issue. And that's what makes it so brutal. You can be responsible and still get clipped because your paycheck hits on Friday and your auto bill hits Thursday. This is where it gets really interesting. Overdraft fees don't mainly punish the irresponsible. They punish the people living close to the edge with no buffer. A $30 fee is catastrophic if you only had $40 available. Credit card late fees. The CFPB found credit card late fees grew to over $14 billion in 2022. Again, billions. And late fees aren't even the worst part. The worst part is what late payments can trigger: penalty APRs, interest compounding longer, credit score damage which increases the cost of borrowing later. So it's not oops, $30. It's oops, this might cost me hundreds over time. The psychology, why your brain ignores microfees. If you're watching this thinking, okay, I get it. Why do I keep doing it? Here's the thing. Your brain is not optimized for modern money. It's optimized for survival, convenience, and avoiding pain. Microfees exploit that. Psychological driver number one, low pain of paying. A $4 fee doesn't hurt. It's emotionally tiny. Your brain basically goes, not a threat, ignore. That's why topping your phone is dangerous. It makes payment feel like a gesture instead of an exchange. Psychological driver number two, present bias. We overvalue immediate comfort and undervalue future gains. Translation, it feels better right now to avoid inconvenience, even if it costs future you a lot. Future you is basically a stranger you keep robbing. Psychological driver number three, mental accounting. We treat categories differently. We'll fight to save $50 on rent and then casually leak $50 in fees because they're scattered across 20 transactions. It doesn't feel like $50. It feels like a couple dollars here and there. That's exactly the trap. Psychological driver number four, default acceptance. If a fee is presented as normal, we assume it's unavoidable. Service fee sounds official, like gravity, but half the time it's optional, avoidable, negotiable, or replaceable. The micro fee ladder, how it turns into 30% more. Let's build a realistic month. I'm going to be slightly dramatic, but not unrealistic. Say your monthly spending is $3,000. Now layer in micro fees. Transaction leaks. Delivery or convenience is $120. ATM or bank MISC fees is $15. Random processing or ticketing fees is $25. Subscriptions you don't fully use is $40. Subtotal, $200. Penalty leaks. One late fee is $30. One overdraft is $30. Subtotal, $60. Percentage leaks. Higher APR because you carry a balance is maybe $70 in interest. Investing fees quietly depends but could be meaningful over years. Subtotal, $70 plus. Now you're already around $330 in nothing spending. On a $3,000 month, that's 11% gone to micro fees and friction. And that's a normal month. Now add the real multiplier. If that $330 a month could have gone to paying off debt or investing, the long-term cost is way bigger than $330. That's how 1% becomes 30%, because the system hits you twice. It takes money now, it takes the growth that money would have had later. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Morgan, but some fees are unavoidable. True, some are, but most people aren't paying unavoidable fees. They're paying fees of convenience, fees of forgetfulness, fees of disorganization, fees of bad defaults, fees of not knowing what to look for. And those are fixable. You might also be thinking, this feels like penny pinching. No, this is leak plugging. Penny pinching is refusing to buy anything enjoyable. Leak plugging is stopping companies from siphoning your money for no value. Big difference. Action plan. What to do this week. Clear and immediate. All right, let's make this practical. Here are 5 steps you can apply immediately, not someday, this week. Step 1. Do a 20-minute fee audit. Open your bank and card statements. Search for keywords fee, service, convenience, processing, overdraft, interest, subscription. Add them up for the last 30 days. Most people never do this because they're scared. But look, your money isn't scary. Ignoring it is scary. Step 2. Kill the default drains. These are the set it and forget it expenses. Subscriptions, memberships, app bundles, premium features. Pick one rule. If you haven't used it in 30 days, cancel it. If you're nervous, downgrade first. Step 3. Set 2 protections, buffer and autopay. Overdrafts and late fees happen when timing gets messy. So create a system that assumes life will be messy. Keep a small buffer in checking, even $100 helps. Put minimum payments on autopay. Set calendar reminders for due dates anyway. This isn't about willpower, it's about design. Step 4. Stop paying percentage fees you don't understand. If you invest through a platform, check expense ratio, advisory or management fee, account maintenance fees. A lot of people are paying 1% plus and don't even know it. And remember, a 1% fee difference can mean roughly a 28% smaller retirement balance in that DOL example. Step 5. Replace convenience spending with convenience systems. This is my favorite because we don't buy delivery because we love fees. We buy delivery because we're tired. So instead of fighting yourself, build a system. Keep 2 emergency meals at home, frozen or simple. Put a $20 lazy meal budget in your week on purpose. Batch errands so you're not paying for convenience repeatedly. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is intentionality. Final insight and motivation. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't need a massive raise to feel financially stable. You need fewer leaks. Because when your financial life stops hemorrhaging money, suddenly saving feels possible. Debt shrinks faster. Investing becomes consistent. Your stress drops. And yeah, you'll still have real expenses, but you'll finally be paying for things you actually chose instead of paying for the privilege of being slightly distracted in a system designed to charge you for it. So here's your challenge. Tonight, open your statement and find your top 3 fee categories. Comment below. I found dollar amount in microfees. No shame, just awareness. And if you want more videos like this, practical money moves that actually change your life, hit subscribe because I'm going to keep exposing the stuff nobody warns you about. And seriously, if this helped, give it a thumbs up. It tells the algorithm to show this to someone else whose money is getting quietly siphoned by small fees that are anything but small. All right, go plug the leaks. Future you will thank you.